Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Chrissy Small, and coming up in today's bulletin, a wanted man is located, greengrocer changes tact, Waimea Dam cost estimates, and Maitai Walkway confusion, plus Waimea wine goes for gold. High winds have been battering Nelson and Tasman over the last 24 hours after a Met Service warning for the region and southwest gales hitting exposed parts of northwest Nelson yesterday. There have been no reports of any property damage at the time of going to air, however the winds have certainly made it difficult for some, with pedestrians in Waimea Road having to fight through the road dust, gusting around them and into their eyes. Police have now arrested Shane Dion Dibbin, who we reported in yesterday's news that police had put out a warning that he was dangerous and possibly armed with a knife. He was located at a private address in Greymouth. The arrest came directly as a result of information provided to police from members of the public, and Dibbin was arrested Tuesday evening. Police have said that they would like to thank everyone who offered information to assist in locating Dibbin. Nelson local businessman Sega Mason has said that more hands are needed on deck for the business to be able to continue. The long-standing Nelson organic business is looking at changing its business model from that of a standalone business to that of a cooperative. Most will know this business as the organic greengrocer on the corner of Tasman and Grove Streets. Mainland's Graham O'Brien spoke with Sega Mason this week about the possibility of the green organic grocer shop becoming the organic greengrocer co-op and how that can begin to happen.
Although this is to most people it's a relatively new idea, I know Littleton has done this to save their only greengrocer after their earthquake. So please tell us what's involved in setting up a cooperative and what stage are you at now?
Yeah, well, I guess the first thing, Graham, is that Sue and I are wanting to step back from the business. So we've been doing it for 21 years now. It opened in October 1993. And we have our farm as well. And like a lot of our customers, we're really wanting to see it continue as it is. It's a very popular shop and people are very fond of it and so on. And discussion has started with some of the customers about perhaps turning it into a cooperative, and therefore the members would still have a say in how it develops and how it continues to evolve as a shop. So that's where the ideas sort of come from.
Yep.
And there's some very good models out there, and one very good one which we've sort of tapped into is the Littleton organic shop. That was a separate branch of Pico Whole Foods, the big organic shop in Christchurch. And then the group of the locals had the idea of turning it into a co-op, which they did 3 years ago, and that's been very successful.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And so they're very keen to help us with, they're providing everything that they did that we can use if we want to and so on. So we put it out there and ran a public meeting, which was held at one of the rooms at Founders Park, and 30 people attended that, and out of that came 10 people who put their hands up to be part of the steering group. So that group is now working on how to put it all together. And a big part of it is what sort of legal structure you have, because while it'd be nice to think a co-op could just be a group of people all working together, the reality is that money starts to change hands. People are not just buying the food from the shop, but as members they would be putting a membership fee in, either a set amount that they pay for an initial share or regular annual payments. It'll be depend on what members think is the best system. But the Harbour Co-op in Littleton, for example, all the members there paid $365 each for a share. They've got something like 188 members.
Wow.
They've also got a few members that are sort of acting as like cornerstone investors. They put a bigger amount in as a sort of preference share type thing that they get paid a small amount of interest on. And all of that has put up enough money to buy the shop, to buy the stock, to buy all your chillers and scales and shelving and all that stuff you need to get the business started as a cooperative. So,
well, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great to see the support that is there for it.
And do the people that are the shareholders, do they actually work in the shop, or are they still hiring staff to oversee all that?
Yeah, I think this will be up to the steering group as they put it together in the members. But in Littleton, for example, again, there is a paid manager, and there is 2 or 3 paid staff, and then the rest of the work is done by members who choose to be what's called sort of voluntary members, where they work some of the time in the shop in exchange for their membership shopping benefits. And this could be ideal, for example, for perhaps some younger people who perhaps don't have enough money to take up the membership even, but they can do voluntary work and still get the same membership benefits. So I think they'll be looking, the co-op here, same as Harbour Co-op, will be looking at a sort of reasonably flexible system that can work for a wide range of people's situations. And there's different ways of sort of giving membership benefits. I think Harbour Co-op now is moving towards there being a sort of everything will be marked at 2 prices, member price and non-member price. So it'll still be open to the general public,
of course.
People who choose not to belong, but they will, when they're shopping, they'll see the benefit of perhaps being a member. So all those sort of things will be a way of trying to attract more members in, which will help it grow and develop.
That's great. I mean, we hear so much now coming out of council and about like resilient cities, more resourceful. I mean, you see this as a direct link to what is a big seems to be an overall bigger plan for cities to become more resourceful and resilient.
Yes, I think so, because all those members then have some knowledge of where the food's coming from, how it's stored and distributed, and so on. So rather than under private ownership, we tend to have to just get on with it and operate as a business. Here, everyone, either through their annual general meetings or whatever, will sort of know how the system's working, what it involves. They can make decisions on what types of food they want to carry, whether they want it to expand, whether they want a full cafe and all that sort of stuff. So,
Oh, it sounds fantastic, and it's very exciting for Nelson City to become to have these stores, and maybe once you lead the way, more shops or more businesses will want to follow your example as well when they see that it works for the community.
Yeah, and we possibly have a few in Nelson already, like some of the art galleries and so on. I think perhaps the same sort of thing. So, and one great idea that came out of the first meeting we had at Founders was perhaps there could be a national model here, that you'll have all your individual co-ops in your cities and towns, but they could also have an overarching structure perhaps that did some of the buying in for all the shops and so on, to get price, to be able to hold price that goes to the middle people and so on.
Sure.
So it could be the start of something quite big, and again that has happened overseas. I think in Switzerland the biggest supermarket chain there is still called the Co-op, and it still has members. So it's one way of beating that concern that many of us have, that these large, what are our supermarkets here, are owned by Australian companies. Is that right? Where does the profits go? Back to Australia. Here you can actually keep your prices as low as possible, and any profits or whatever are in the community. They stay in the community.
Excellent, that's fantastic, and we look forward to hearing more about it as it unfolds.
Good.
Excellent. Good. Thanks very much.
Do you just want to cover how people can get in touch, or?
How can people get in touch with you?
At this stage, probably best just to contact through the shop, the Organic Greengrocer, or email ogg@ts.co.nz. And we're just running a list. We've already got a membership database of about 300 emails.
Wow.
So as people contact, either put their names in a sheet or email us, they just go onto the list, and there'll be regular updates about what's happening.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
Tasman District Council staff have advised the Tasman District Mayor and councillors on the recommended approach to forecasting of the likely cost of the proposed Waimea Dam. An estimated cost is needed for the Council's 2015 and 2025 long-term plan, should the dam go ahead. The Council considered a report on the work that the Council will undertake for the project, which includes overall project management, finalising design procurement, finance and funding the community consultation in the support of the dam company's efforts. All of these costs will be met by Council. The cost of the proposed Waimea Community Dam remains the one fact that is unable to be finalised until tenders are received for its construction. The most often quoted figure has been around the $42 million million mark in 2009. However, Council have advised using a higher figure of $69 million in the 2015 and 2025 long-term plan. Figures could range from 60 to 80 million given the uncertainty about what the end result will be. Mayor Richard Kempthorne informs the community that community consultation on the funding and governance arrangements for the proposed dam is the Council's role. That is planned to begin next month and be completed before Christmas. The outcome will determine the future role of a company in the governance and ownership of the proposed dam. The report and the agreement are available on the Council's website www.tasman.govt.nz. Waimea Sauvignon Blanc wins its second gold at the 2014 New Zealand International Wine Show this month, soon after they released their Waimea Sauvignon Blanc 2014 and Waimea Classic Riesling 2013. Nelson Winery, Waimea Estates took gold medals in their respective classes at the International Wine Show. This follows on from the 2014 Sauvignon Blanc winning gold medal at the Brigato Wine Awards just 3 weeks ago. Ben Bolitho, General Manager and Viticulturist at Waimea Estates, was thrilled and said that their vineyards consistently produce small crops of excellent Sauvignon Blanc and Riesling, with many past vintages recognised with gold medals and trophies. Waimea also won silver medals with Spineback Sauvignon Blanc 2014, Waimea Chardonnay 2013 and their very first release of an exciting Waimea Albarino 2014. This takes the tally for Waimea Estates to 126 gold medals and 23 trophies across 9 different wine styles, showing the strength and diversity of this family-owned wine company. Both wines are widely available in New Zealand and export markets. Confusion reigned earlier this week after the Nelson Mail had mistakenly published that the Mai Tai Walkway was to open on Tuesday. Mainland also fielded emails asking what we knew of this event. However, upon contacting the Nelson City Council, we were informed that Tuesday's event was an invite-only breakfast for a small group of those involved with the project, and that the Mai Tai Walkway was still under construction, with the official opening due to be in November. September each year brings about World Alzheimer's Month. This international campaign aims to raise awareness and increase understanding of dementia right around the world. Throughout September, organisations and individuals in New Zealand and around the globe have been running events and activities to raise awareness of dementia. People with dementia and their families living in Nelson and Marlborough are now experiencing improved dementia care and support through the Nelson Marlborough District Health Board dedicated dementia care training program called Walking in Another's Shoes for carers and health professionals. The course helps carers to learn to listen more, to take things slowly where possible, and to find out more about a person to help understand them and their needs. Nelson Marlborough District Health Board initiated the program in May 2013, with the first group of 18 carers completing the course in December 2013. 2 courses, one in Nelson and one in Blenheim, will graduate by the end of September this year, with another course starting in October. Nelson Marlborough DHB Chief Executive Chris Fleming said that the program Walking in Another's Shoes has gone from strength to strength over the past 12 months, with more health professionals and carers across both islands accessing the program. And during the past few months, the Walking in Another's Shoes trainers have been sharing their expertise in delivering person-centred care, thanks to a collaboration with Alzheimer's New Zealand, Career Force and Health Workforce New Zealand to support a new training program for people delivering dementia care. For more information, you can contact Catherine Rock at the Nelson Marlborough District Health Board in Nelson on 546 1824. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.